Hi, it's Pastor Paul L. Anderson here at the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, where we believe God's blessings never stop flowing. It is Satisfaction Saturday. We thank God for blessing us on this day as we come to the last day of the week. Also, it's a moment in which we pause to say, Happy Juneteenth. Juneteenth, a celebration that we have, that we thank God how He allowed us to be free. But some of us didn't know it until about this time. And so we're so grateful in the midst of all of what has happened. I hope you are celebrating wherever you are to thank God for the freedom that we have here in the United States of America, but the greatest freedom that comes in being free from our sins because of what Christ did for us at Calvary. And if Christ did it for us at Calvary, He can do it for you and He can do it for me and our very own lives, those things that we need to break free from. Let Him liberate you. I want to invite you to look with me into a very powerful passage out of 1 Samuel, the 18th chapter, verses 1 through 4. It is now at a point in the passage that David has fought this battle against Goliath. And now David has defeated Goliath. He did it with a slingshot and with 3 stones that he had in his pocket. And so it's amazing how God has allowed this David. Remember, David was anointed as being the new king of Israel while he was doing what he was called to do, take care of sheep. It was then he went to go and see his brothers to take them something to eat. And while he was there, he see Goliath. And then he does what the history tells us he did. He took the sword out of the sheath that Goliath had, cut off his head. And then Saul wanted to know, who is this guy? And now he's met with Saul. And now Saul does something that becomes monumental in David's life. Saul introduces David to his son. Look at the passage. The passage tells us that Saul had a son by the name of Jonathan. So now immediately when David and Jonathan meet each other, they have this connection. They realize they're about the same age. They realize they come from very different backgrounds. But now Jonathan is thinking, this guy is my age. Look at what he's done. I could only imagine in my mind's eye, he's saying, I need to get to know this guy, because guess what? My dad's already the king. And if he is pleasing my dad, if he is going to be somebody that we need to look at, I probably want to get to know this guy. The Bible puts it this way. It says that immediately when they met, they had a connection. Have you ever met somebody and you just liked them? You didn't know anything about them, but it was something about how your spirit bore witness with their spirit, that we have kindred spirits. You know, the Bible talks about the importance of us being with those who have a kindred spirit to ours. I believe these 2 men understood that they were young boys. They were growing to become men. They also knew how important Saul was in their life, but they knew the importance of God in the life of Israel, because now they began to see what is so powerful in this text, that they loved each other. As we're on the heels of Father's Day, we need to remind ourselves as men, we can love each other the way God would have us to love each other as men, and that we would be able to build relationships, that we will create kindred spirits with other men, that together we can have friendships that will allow us to be strong and we can strengthen one another. You know, the Bible talks about iron sharpens iron, and it talks about us being our brother's keeper. Now we see here in this text a relationship of brothers that love each other so much. It is like many men who are part of fraternal organizations. You have a love, you have a kindred spirit because you find out you have some things in common. And when you have things in common, it helps us to grow, to develop, to become men who will eventually become fathers. See, David and Jonathan realized that they had, each one had their individual fathers. Their fathers had taught them something. On the heels of Father's Day, it begins to remind us how we can partner together to learn from each other. David saw life from one perspective. Jonathan saw it from another perspective. And if they brought both of their perspectives together, just think how strong of a kingdom they would be a part of. It talks about friendship. It talks about partnership. It talks about alliances. You and I need to allow ourselves as men. Ladies, we thank you for the support you provide. But I want to talk to men. If we put ourselves together, knit ourselves together, find out the things we have in common, it's amazing how we can change the world. David and Jonathan became friends like no one else had ever seen. They saw these two guys who were hanging together, who were sticking together, who were learning to live, to grow together, and have some great visions of the future. It's amazing when you and I get together with other men, how we can strengthen our bonds and how we can make a difference. The text says that he loved David so much, and he had great admiration for David. He gave David, as it says in the text, he gave to him his robe, he gave to him his tunic, he gave to him his sword, his bow, and his belt. He gave him those things that were on the outside. He gave him those things that were close to his size. Remember, his father, Jonathan's father, Saul, offered David his armor. And David, I can believe, said in his own mind, it's too big for me. I can't wear it. That tells us it's important for us not to try to walk the way others have walked, but walk down the same road, but wear what we're designed to wear. I believe they were about the same size. They had something in common. And they decided, let me share with you, and I'll share with you. We can all come together as we bring different things, and we can make a difference. We build a strong alliance. We build a better world. And we know with God, everything is possible. May God bless you. May heaven smile upon you. I'll see you tomorrow in worship.
To sow a seed to the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, visit our newly redesigned website, thefountainofraleigh.org, and select Sow a Seed from the homepage. Also, giving has been made easier with the new Fountain of Raleigh app, available now in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Download today, select Giving from the main menu, and then follow the directions to complete your giving through Subsplash.
Thank you so very much for all of your gifts and donations that you've given to the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship. We thank you for what you've done in the past, what you're currently doing, and what you will do in the future. Your gifts and donations helps us to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ, not only locally, but throughout the world. Thank you again for your gifts, and may God continue to richly bless you. It is here at the Fountain that we believe that we are exceedingly and abundantly blessed, and may you receive those blessings that God has in store for you.